Welcome 239 Uncensored, everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And it's Friday, March 4th. We got the lovely Shannon Livingston. Shannon, you're here.
Here I am.
Yeah, you're looking all red over there.
I am. I'm very red.
The corner's red. You're red. You got a little blush red going on.
Do I?
Did
you make me blush?
Yeah, I don't know.
Saying inappropriate things to me?
You all know me, right? How do I make Shannon Livingston blush? I'll give you $100 if you can figure out a way to do that.
It's very easy.
Yeah?
It really is.
Really?
I don't shock at all, but if you just compliment me most of the time, it makes me blush, or sometimes I'll just start crying out of embarrassment. I'm like, don't be nice to me. I can't handle it.
Yeah. Well, Shannon's here. It's Friday.
It is Friday.
We got a lot to cover. I mean, there's a lot of shit going on right now.
Oh my God, there's so much crazy stuff.
But we're only going to keep you guys about a half an hour today.
Because you have appointments.
Yeah, well, we just got a lot of things going on. Yeah.
I have stuff to do too.
But no, and I know, everybody just loves it here and they're coming on. We're up to like 400 or 500 views on this thing. Now, I don't know how long people are staying on and listening and watching, but they at least go by and check it out for a minute.
Now, do you think it's for the education or the entertainment?
It's because of you, probably, Shannon. Probably because of you. Probably because of you.
That's
it helps.
Very nice, but
you think I'm stupid? You got to have somebody that's attractive.
Yeah.
To
I
look
need
at.
my shirt to be more low cut.
Well, I know we're trying to get. We're trying to get tank tops.
Well, I would just at least like a t-shirt, and then I can cut it up.
Yeah. That's how it's going to do it. But it's been crazy. I mean, I know a lot of people are stressing right now. There's a lot going on.
It's a stressful time, and then we have the whole nuclear
facility. We'll talk a little bit about that.
One of those buildings being hit, so everybody's nervous.
Yeah, I guess they got the fire out, but they've taken control of it, so no one really knows. And they said it's 25% of that electric in the country is right. Taken from that.
He's controlling the power.
It's crazy. And I'm like we talked about last week, still trying to figure it out, like why and what and how. And, we all know that it's just nuts.
Well, I think our country looks maybe 20, 30 years back into history, and other countries look 200, 300 years back. And he's going to look back as far as he needs to justify what he's doing.
Right. Yeah. And I just feel bad for the people that are having to flee different countries. And those are the ones they're going to make it. But the ones that are fleeing, their families are fleeing, but they're men for the most part. I'm sure there's probably women involved too, but they're staying there and they're fighting and they're blocking.
Now, can you imagine what if Mexico said, we're taking Texas back. We're rolling in. We want Texas, California.
We'll give them California.
New Mexico is ours. I knew that was coming.
We'll give them California.
Part of Texas could probably go like, maybe.
We're going to fight for Texas.
West Texas California you could have.
Yeah. Or we decided that, we want their avocados.
But isn't that the equivalent?
Yeah,
Mexico rolling in and taking back what we took from them.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it would be. And then they say that basically Ukraine's the size of Texas. So they always compare the size because you really don't have an idea of how, the relationship to the size, because, when they say they're taking over the city, they're taking over Dallas, they're taking over Austin, they're taking over, it's just amazing.
We are very, very spoiled here because we have water to keep us safe on both sides, and then pretty friendly neighbors. So we don't really have to worry. And only two, where some of these other countries are surrounded by different people and they have to be very diplomatic.
Yeah. And, in Canada, they're just kind of doing their thing up there. They're all cold and trying to stay cozy, and they don't bother many people.
I haven't heard a peep from Canada. Even Switzerland is involved now, and Canada's like still staying out of it. Like we're still growing weed up here as a government. We're figuring it out.
So this one guy, you've probably maybe seen this on the news, but this one guy, he got stopped for speeding, and I've heard some pretty good excuses.
Yeah,
doing this a while, right? He blamed the whole speeding thing on Putin.
He's very upset about
not
what's
a bad
happening.
idea. Yeah. So I think we got this in Tampa, Florida, rushing home to stay.
It's in Palm Coast. I used to live here.
Oh, okay. It was in Palm Coast.
In Palm Coast.
Okay, this came out of the Tampa news station,
because it's big news.
Yeah, it's big news. Yeah, Flagler County pulled over this guy in a white sports car on Tuesday after going 50 and a 30, and he basically ended it up with, "Hey, listen, nothing for nothing, but Putin made me do it."
Well, yeah, let's see how much of this video we have.
Yeah, I think we got a little clip.
You got the registration? Yeah, there was no reason for that at all. I would put people's lives into safety and everything.
I just found out. I'm trying to... Tell you the truth, guy. I just found out that Putin is just said he's going to launch nuclear thermal war against the world. I was trying to get back to my house to find out what's going on. I'm freaking out here, guy. Okay? I got people in the Ukraine. They just sent me the insurance.
I got people in the Ukraine. Now, I think that's bullshit.
Probably not.
He had,
But
you
you
know,
never
he
know.
had a million reasons. You know, it's a new car. I'm figuring it out. I'm doing this, doing that. And the whole thing, you're going too fast. You're being a self-centered douche. Don't drive like that. And I don't know what he thinks he's going to do at home, watching it on the news versus listening to it in his car.
Well, I remember, you probably remember where you were when 9/11 hit,
Yes.
right? So he's probably thinking, I got to get home, watch out what the hell's going on. I mean, this is getting
Right.
crazy. So
Well,
not an
and-
excuse though.
But
I'd
and
probably
also,
chuckle.
stop calling it nuclear. Like there are so many even news anchors that are saying nuclear.
What would you say?
It's nuclear. It's different.
Oh.
Nuclear and nuclear are two separate
Oh,
things.
Jesus.
They mean two separate things.
Well, Shannon, people, jump up the words. President does it all the time.
Oh my gosh, it's so sad. I don't even want to get on that. And that's fine. But if somebody is trying to like be condescending and can't even pronounce the word nuclear, it's hard for me not to laugh. Because everybody's condescending now. We've gone from a bunch of health experts to now foreign policy experts.
Yeah. No, it's of course. And people are trying to figure this whole thing out, right? How and why. And I don't think anybody really knows. It's just kind of a crazy thing. I could see if like Ukraine launched, a couple missiles over their way and, they were kind of battling back and forth. But basically up to this point, they're like, we don't really want to join NATO. We just kind of want to be our own people. We kind of want to just, live our lives. And then next thing you know, they're stockpiling trucks up, army war trucks on the border, and then they went ahead and did it. I don't know if they really knew that or thought they were going to do it, but they have done it. It's a lot of damage, a lot of people getting killed, just crazy.
Well, and now we're starting to see the strategy of what he's doing, of the linking of the cities, controlling the ports, really cutting them off from supplies being delivered. Now it's getting real, and it's moving into the cities, and I'm afraid we're going to start really seeing that body count go up.
Yeah, no, it's a terrible thing over there. We'll monitor it. We'll keep you posted. I'm sure you guys have, some better news sources than the 239 Uncensored, but we try to let people know how it impacts us here. And we did talk about a little bit about how it impacts us. I don't know if you saw, but cereal and bread from this
Luxury
items, things that you don't think about. I think it was Ukraine makes oil. I'm trying to remember what kind of oil, like it's cooking oil of some sort, right? And they basically said we're not going to be able to get it. Then there's going to be wheat. So cereal is going to be a luxury item. So how's that going to work?
As
Shannon?
if there's even wheat in cereal. I tell you what, I see most of these people out at the grocery store. They could stay away from bread for a while.
You think
it's not going to hurt them?
Not me.
Yeah,
not me.
It's not going to hurt them. They need to cut their carbs anyway. Go and have some vegetables.
They probably need to. Some of us, but I don't think it's just going to be that. Now we're all obviously talking about the fuel source, right?
Right. But we learned from COVID that we do have a lot of weaknesses in our supply chain. We have a lot of dependence on other countries, just the lack of communication in some systems. So we've already kind of had a precursor to this whole issue that we're looking at. What is going to be limited when we're not trading with Russia, when certain supplies aren't there that go into the production of other things, just like this oil going into the production of the bread and wheat going into the bread and the cereal.
Yeah, but like a lot of things that you don't really consider the domino effect of, and I really don't think that Putin has put a lot of sense into it too, because we kind of make fun of it. Well, they took away their Facebook, they took away their Netflix, they took away of a lot of different things. Now, I will tell you that if you took away half that shit in the United States, people would freak out and they'd start turning against you.
Well, and in the United States, we freak out about nothing. So not only are we going to have supply chain issues and real problems getting avocados and wheat or whatever, but then you have people doing stupid shit like, I'm going to go buy all the toilet paper for no reason at all, but I'm just gonna, clean out and I'm gonna create a panic. And I mean, that was completely psychologically based, the toilet paper shortage.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that more than 29% of the world's wheat supply comes from Russia and Ukraine. Currently, the Black Sea ports, everything's pretty much shut down there, and I think they're working their way around those, as I heard this morning, and cutting off that port, and they're trying to make a line that comes from one end to the, from Russia right into the other. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see, but I think what's going to happen, I think it's going to be an internal thing that's going to take Putin out. I believe internally.
It always is.
Yeah.
Now, do you think the United States is going to learn its lesson and stop subsidizing corn for corn syrup and cornmeal and, and paying farmers not to grow things, and kind of looking at our agricultural system and saying, okay, we need to grow different things. We need to be more self-sufficient.
Well, absolutely. I think what we need to do, we learned a lot in the last 3 years.
We got really
right?
big and global, and now it's coming back to bite us.
Right. Anything that we absolutely have to depend on from somebody else to get, we need to look at doing it ourselves.
Right.
Now, I'm sure there's going to be some things that we're not going to be able to do, but for the most part, I think what we really need to do is we need to look at those things and learn from some of the stuff that we have learned from, and say, listen, we need to produce this stuff ourselves. Now, obviously the pipeline's a big issue. They shut that down. I think we need to look at, fuel and energy really is what runs this country and most every other country. So if we are dependent on other people for it, we're going to be in trouble.
And that is going to need a lot of solutions. It's going to need, electric cars, better trade, more production domestically. I think we're going to see a lot of different prongs to that solution, not just one thing.
Yeah, I know. It's definitely a crazy thing. Let's swing in another little direction. Did you happen to see your nice little lady?
Oh my gosh. I was watching the news and I heard about this, and they said, so this woman was apparently smoking meth and having sex with this guy, and then completely freaks out. And it ended up with his head in a bucket, and his mother had to find this whole gruesome scene. Like, that is what was most disturbing to me. And this woman does not look sorry at all. She looks really kind of pleased with herself, and her makeup. She's had sex. She has murdered someone. She has dismembered them, taken the organs out, and done all sorts of weird shit. And look, her eyeliner has not run. I would like to know what brand she is using.
This woman's scary to me.
She looks pretty good.
24 years old, but yeah, she's still, I mean, is that like
she looks kind of old for 24?
Does she have a little tat there? Is that like hair? Or
I don't know if that's a neck tattoo.
Something's going on. Maybe it's Primark or something. I don't know what that could be.
But usually, especially with meth, they look a little rough.
Yeah,
skin's bad, but she looks pretty good. Her makeup is pretty well done. So I don't know. I mean, what could be going through the brain? That's the scary thing with meth and bath salts and other drugs like that just completely take over their brain and their thinking.
Yeah, I think they said she was interviewed. They obviously interviewed about her, and she said she actually got gratification from it, and she thought it was kind of cool, and not, like you said, doesn't look like a whole lot of remorse on her.
No, and she said, good luck finding all of his organs. She made it an effort to take all of his parts out and make sure that they were going to be difficult to find.
And to decapitate somebody, it takes
that's effort.
That's like it's
muscle and bone and
nothing that I've done, but I've got some stuff.
You gotta put effort into it.
You gotta. I mean, it's definitely
like cutting a tree down in your
and
yard.
Then I guess she put the different body parts throughout the house,
and when they
different
found
locations,
her, she had legs with her. Like, why would you just look under?
Maybe like,
hey, like just in a bag or what? She just had some legs.
Walking around the house. I don't know if anybody's got any comments out there and seen that. I remember when, what was her name that cut off the one guy's penis?
Well, and then this says,
story.
Lorena Bobbitt. But there were two sides to that. There was the whole Lifetime movie about how she was treated so badly and pushed to do that.
But not to cut that off. But I mean, we used to think how heinous that was. Look at this. This is
But
crazy.
also, so they have sex, and then she decapitates him, and she, does all this weird mutilation shit. But then it says mutilating a corpse and third-degree sexual assault following the incident. Does that mean that they charged her with that after the incident, or she was sexually assaulting that corpse after the?
That's what it sounds like to me after
she
reading
killed
it.
him.
Yeah, she had done something afterwards.
Weird.
Yeah, like weird.
Sexually.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's bad journalism or if she's just super freaky with her psychotic.
Well, that happens usually, and we're not used to females doing that. That happens frequently in serial crimes, sexual things
body
after they die. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I've heard about like
Ted Bundy did all that stuff,
decapitating them and then using their trachea. Like that's.
Oh my God.
I know you could never unknow that now.
I know. Thanks for sharing that.
It's
Shannon.
in my brain.
Thank you for sharing that.
I know. I was traumatized by learning that 25 years ago.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
So speaking of people killing and repeatedly, so what does make a serial killer? Is that 3, 4? What is serial status?
Well,
more than 2?
Yeah, I would say more than 2, and then maybe doing it stealthily and undetected.
So like 2, you're not really a serial killer. They're like, it's not really a problem.
Incidents, right? Incidents, because if you go and you plow into a bunch of people and kill them, that's could be a lot of people.
Yeah, that's true.
So it'd be
like
maybe more
murder.
of like incidents.
So that's mass versus serial.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's a good question. I would say probably 3, probably after 3, and then obviously the police get involved, and then they start stringing these together and piecing the puzzle.
And now that's exactly what happened in this case. Now we have DNA, so we're able to really link people to more than one crime and see these serial killers. It's crazy to think about the statistics and the people that are doing this and don't ever get caught, because it's usually disposable people in their eyes, prostitutes with no family, people that are part of the, underground of society where nobody's looking for them and nobody really cares.
Mm-hmm.
So they feel like they can just go through these people and not draw a lot of heat. They're not taking senators' kids,
right?
For sure. And so this guy had 3 people that he had killed when he was in college and keeping up his studies. That's crazy to me too. I would think that would screw with my brain a little bit if I had taken a human life, and he's just cramming for an exam after killing people.
That's crazy. Do we have a picture of him? This guy, Daytona Beach, Florida. That's where the story came out, right? A Florida man convicted of killing 3 women 16 years ago when he was a college student studying criminal justice at the local university, right? He was sentenced to life in prison. They deliberated almost 7 hours before deciding to spare Robert Haynes' life, recommending to spend the rest of his life behind bars. So, yeah, I mean, he's probably been locked up for a while since this incident that they decided to spare him. And it took them 7 hours to figure that out.
To say that they wanted to keep him in prison forever. Yeah. Now, what do you think about the death penalty?
Well, I think if this guy, he's killed 3 women. Mm-hmm. So I look at it like this. If you've got 3 women who are dead, they all had families, they all had parents, they all had brothers, sisters, all that stuff. Why does he get to continue to live?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I figure. Because I'm thinking, like, put this guy out. Why are we spending any money on him at this point? He's not gonna really be any use for, except making license plates or shit like that. But he's really going to be no use for society.
Yeah. Well, I've read, I agree with you there, but I have read that it is more expensive to put somebody to death than it is to keep them for the rest of their life incarcerated.
Well, and that's not true.
Okay, well,
that's not true. There's just absolutely no way that is.
We'll have to look it up. I am not a proponent of the death penalty just generally. I think we have too many flaws in our legal system. I think we also incarcerate the wrong people, though. But for the people that definitely need incarceration that cannot be part of our society, they need to just be in there forever. And maybe there are people that need to be put to death again, but I just think as long as we do have these flaws in our system, I don't feel real comfortable with that.
Well, I think there's always going to be a flaw, but if you know for a fact, whether, and I don't know the base behind this case, but if you know for a fact that this person did it, there's, no doubt then why would we possibly waste another penny on this person?
Well, again, I don't know what the finances are. You and I differ on what we think is more.
Well, I can't imagine it would be.
expensive.
I can't imagine how we keep somebody alive until they're 70 or 80 years old, and it costs a certain amount of money. Whereas
because the process of putting them to death is so expensive for whatever stupid reasons. But we as a society, aren't we trying to move toward respecting life more? Don't you think that applies
to a certain extent? Yeah, I respect life.
Everyone. We are not anyone's judge, right? Isn't it up to God to judge?
Well,
or no? Am I getting that wrong?
God created us, so we have minds and we have the ability to.
We have free will.
Yeah, we have the ability to decide whether or not this person should live or die.
I don't think so. I think we have the ability to decide whether or not we want them in our community, and if they need to be, contained.
Tell that to the 3 women that lost their lives. Family.
I just
obviously can't tell it to them.
Well, I think that our criminal justice system is very, very flawed. And we have people that walk all the time that should be in prison. Usually, if you have money, you can get out of it. And if you're poor, you can't.
And you say that we're flawed. We're not perfect. And I don't think it ever is. But I'm saying if you've got a slam dunk situation where this person did what they did.
But what constitutes slam dunk?
Slam dunk is seeing somebody do it.
Eyewitnesses are not good evidence. And you know that.
I think there's very few people that get sentenced to life and death that are truly
that aren't supposed to be there.
I mean, I'm sure it does happen. Like I said, it's never foolproof. But I just think someone like this, and again, I don't know this particular case. He needs to go, right? But it needs to be. When I say slam dunk, it needs to be like, hey, we know this guy did this. Now, whether we just choose to let him live or die, I think we need to go back to their families and say, what are your thoughts? And I think they should have some input in it, because some families are forgiving and they will, push to let them live and not die. So I think that does play a part in it.
Yeah, I have seen very religious people that are
forgive
family members, yes, that think that it is wrong to take another life, that is for God and God only to do.
Yeah. But
ongoing discussion, obviously. I mean, it's, since our country began, and we're still figuring it out, what we believe in and what's effective. I don't think that we are using it, we use the excuse of it being a deterrent, but I don't think that the death penalty is a big deterrent.
Well, I don't really think people in this state of mind, whether it be this guy, they're not thinking like, hey, if I do this, I just think that person really has no.
You just believe in the punishment part.
Yeah, has no use on giving them any money, putting anything to them. That's how I feel. But that's just my opinion, doing the job that I've done for a while.
Yeah. Well, and that I'm sure has skewed your opinion. You're seeing the worst of the worst there.
Well, in some cases, but we've seen people locally. We've seen heinous crimes here locally, and there's people that we've had, that are on death row. They've been there for 20, 30 years. That's probably where your cost is coming from. I personally believe it should be a hell of a lot quicker. You get sentenced a week later, you're done.
They waive their appeal process.
Well, you could appeal this shit till the cows come home, and it's just never going to end. But anyway, that's my opinion.
Well, and we do have a case that we've talked about before, where it was a case that you were involved in, and it was a family member of one of our family friends, and so it was one of Joe's friends' parents, and so when I say, I don't think that they deserve to die, people think that that's naive, but I have in real life seen those heinous crimes that you're talking about.
Right.
And I have in real life seen what that does to the family members as well.
Sure.
So I'm not being flippant about that. I've put a little bit of thought in. I just think people say things because that's what makes them sound cool or whatever. And, it's not an easy thing.
Well, I think both sides of it, right? So you have people that are like so stark, this guy needs to die. I think there's got to be some input, and there's a process to it. I do think, though, that we do spend a lot more time on something that should be done a lot more swiftly. And then I think our costs will go down, because it is about
because
cost.
it's all about money.
Yeah, it's all about money.
It's money
Yeah,
and punishment.
exactly,
We are not
exactly.
the Christian nation that we act like
Exactly.
we are. Gotcha.
Anything else going on today? Or what's happening this weekend?
We've got some good stuff going on in the community.
Okay.
I had a friend of mine reach out, and he's doing something really cool with kids and business. And I believe we're going to have JD come on Monday.
Okay.
We'll invite him to join us via satellite. I don't think that's really how, but that's what they always say on TV,
satellite,
right?
Via satellite.
Yeah. No, so he does a lot of stuff in the community, and he has set up this event where kids can pitch their business and have a little booth, I think, where they sell their wares. And I always love that. I'm a sucker for kids being
That'd be kind of cool. Like one of the kids that wins, if we could have them come in.
Oh yeah.
I think that's kind of what we're trying to do.
Well, I don't know that it's a competition, and I should be more educated on what he's doing. I didn't read through it, but
well,
he does
if you don't win the thing, then you're just a loser. You're a loser kid. We don't. Why are you wasting your time?
We're gonna keep you away from the 9-year-olds.
It's like a science fair.
You're gonna like scar them forever. No, I think it's more of like a fair.
Foster relationships with
No, I think it's like they're selling their stuff.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I could be wrong.
I'll go there and get.
I think they've already like helped them with business, and now they're like.
I'll go there and get some ideas and steal it from them.
That's right. Oh, I like your soap. What's your recipe?
What's the recipe with the soap? Yeah, that's good. Man. You're. I don't know. We won't talk about it, but you got some good ideas. Your manware.
Well, yeah, I mean,
kitchenware.
I have new ideas all the time for new businesses, but I can barely keep up with my day job. But we are trying to do more in the community. 239 Uncensored, I think, scares people, and they don't understand that it's not all uncensored. We do love the community. We love our charities, and we'd like to take a few minutes out of the show to have people on or whatever. So let us know what we can do.
I met with a really nice lady on that same thing this morning at 9:30. She's like, kind of getting her life together, empowering herself, and she wants to do a podcast, just an episode, and explain it. We had Alina Donahue.
I haven't listened to that podcast
very good.
yet,
Awesome.
But I'm so excited.
Yeah, human trafficking victim, and that's podcast 105.
Oh my gosh.
And she had a great story, and so that's the kind of thing. So don't hesitate. Just email me at tim@studio239LLC. Let me know
your charity. We can talk about your life, your book coming out, whatever. Because we have so much cool stuff in this community.
Yeah, and then get hold of Shannon too, Messenger, myself, and then what we can do is we can bring you through satellite.
We
can bring you through satellite right into the studio on your phone. It's all you need. Just bring your phone. Yeah. And we're probably gonna segment. We want to do some home stuff, but right now there's not a lot of homes for sale. So
they're flying off the shelves.
Yeah, it's like before they get them, they're like, "Hey, we don't want to advertise. We don't want anymore." So what we want to do is maybe we'll highlight pimp your business type of thing, right?
We'll do like a soft
okay. Opening for
that.
Things.
Yeah.
So I just went down to it was a really cool place to eat. It was Baba Book, I believe the name was. Tacos and burritos, and that place was really good.
Where?
And the guy was super nice. It's right on Naples Boulevard, right by when you pull into Best Buy in Costco. As you go around the corner, it's right there. I wish I had the address. The guy's super nice guy. I think I do have it, but
will he give us like free sauce or something?
Yeah, we're gonna go.
239.
We're gonna go in there and do our show there.
Oh, good. I'll wear my shirt.
Super nice.
See if I can beg for a taco.
Yeah, you'll be able to get it. You're good.
Well, I need a tighter shirt.
So yes,
get 2 tacos.
It's Bubba Coos Burritos. Bubba Coos Burritos. I don't know if you can see it on the thing, and they got a little thing on it. You can download the app, and Sean Powers is the franchise partner. So nice guy, real nice guy, really good place.
So many Austin Powers jokes.
Yeah, we'll ask him about it. Seemed like a really nice guy, so we'll have him on. Yeah, Austin Powers. Yes, that's good.
If he did, then I would make him a regular part of the show. That would be a guy that we should have on the show a lot.
He was really nice. Yeah, he was good. He saw the shirt and he's like, "Hey, you do the radio thing?" And I go, "No, we do like a podcast." And
we do it.
But I think the lives where they can call in or we can go up to their place. We've been wanting to do those for a while. So just a matter of time.
Yeah. I had somebody ask me something about the radio show that I used to do. I know you're looking at your watch.
No, I feel
rushed.
Don't feel rushed. We got some time.
But this is it.
One thing about the Apple Watch is every time it goes off, you're like looking.
You have to look at it.
Called, yeah.
I feel like I'm like second best right now. So
sorry.
I had It's all right. It's my own problem. I'm dealing with it in therapy. So I had a friend of mine ask something about the radio show that I used to do when, like, if I was sad that I had left because there's been some movement at the show, and he was like, do you think that you could have done that? And I said, I'm very happy what I'm doing. And I tried to explain to him the reach really that this podcast has, and that it's bigger than the radio show that I was doing.
Getting there.
And no, it is.
Okay.
And because it was just a local, local show. And so I think people don't understand that as well. The really enormous reach that this studio has, both in doing these lives and then on the different social media platforms.
Yeah, it goes
Very
out
helpful.
to thousands of people. So it's kind of neat. We're enjoying it. We're trying
Millions
to
of people.
Build it up, and we're going to try to work on getting more guests because we have the tools to do it. We just a matter of getting, if they can't be here physically, we can get them on for 5 or 6 minutes, explain what they got going, and we'll be good with that.
So don't be scared. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know
if you want to come on.
Yes, let us know.
All right. That's it. That's all I have.
239. That says everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we are out. We'll see you on Monday. Shannon.
Do the fist.
Woo!
We are out.